Okay. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode, another live stream on the E-Report. First, if you're just joining us and you're new to this channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the next generation channel so you don't miss any of our subsequent videos or live streams. Today we have another React channel. We're going to react again from a cruise video, and this is a very interesting one, guys. But before we get into the video, we have a very important announcement. So drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. So on our next coming episodes on Wednesday, we usually have live streams, but we are starting a new segment where we are going to be inviting youths or inspiring entrepreneurs, people who have movements that they are starting up that are helping to build their country and the economy. If you would like to be part of the show so we can interview you and get your work out, and we can also get to know more about you and more about what you're doing, please reach out to us on maybe our WhatsApp, our email. We're going to leave the information down in the video. So just feel free so you can join us on our next live stream, and we can actually, on our next episode on Wednesdays, and we can have a talk about it. So we're going to go straight into the video for today, and today we're going to be talking about is poverty a choice? So it's a debate of the rich against the poor. So let's get into the video.
Poverty is a choice.
If God did not bless him, man, bro, no matter how hard that man work, that man can never get to where he imagined. And it's God that determines whether if this person will be poor and this person will be rich. And poverty is not a choice.
You're trying not to be accountable.
Can you give account of your life?
What are you
of how
saying?
you wake up this morning? Shane a person where they are alive, now they think about success.
You are too religious. You bring religion to things that happens on daily basis. When I was nobody, I read from Genesis to Revelation.
Even being rich, sometimes it's not even mindset. Some people stumble to it. If I don't want to make it, I won't take out my time to sponsor myself to school.
The issue is that you think because you went to school, you're guaranteed a job. You're not.
The fact that you have money does not mean that you're going to be happy.
You will say money cannot buy happiness. Wait until you don't have money to access some basic things. You will now know that money can actually make you happy.
If I have money and I don't have husband, what is the happiness?
Everybody problem, they different.
Alright, so we also have a little trailer on what the video is going to be talking about before we start up. So we're talking about the rich versus the poor. I just want to remind us that if you would like to join the live stream, you can link in and join with us. Send your comments, send your opinions on the different problems that are going to be brought up, so we'll have a discussion about it. So let's get back to the video.
Here are the prompts we'll be discussing on today's episode. Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Poverty is a choice.
One of the things Bill Clinton said, poverty is a choice. You determine where you decide to belong to. All the time when I finished my secondary school, I said I'm not going to work for anybody. The only time I worked was the time I worked as a menial job as a security. I've never worked for anybody. One said, poverty, there is nothing you can do to get out of poverty. I said, no. The people who are supposed to be sleeping and decide to hustle pure water, do one or two things, are trying to see a way around it to move to another level. Poverty is a choice. Several rich people today were once poor. So it's a matter of choice.
I also agree that poverty is a choice. While I would say, if you were born poor, that's not a choice. That one, you had no control over it. But at a certain time in your life, at a certain point in your life, God gave us all free will and everybody can make decisions, right? You were born poor doesn't mean you have to die poor. Now, if you die poor, that is a choice that you made, because it's the same choice you made that, okay, you know what, I want to get married at this certain age. All these things are choices, right? So why should you choose to be poor?
Okay, so just starting at this point, the prompt is poverty a choice? And my intake on this particular one, my stance is that poverty is a choice. Yes and no. Okay, poverty can be a choice, and sometimes it is not a choice. It's not a very yes directly or no directly statement, because I feel like at the point in time, you, like she said, you might be born poor, and that is not a choice. Or you might have a point in life where you lose everything or get really broke and poor. that is not, maybe might not be a choice, you might have a fail in your business and that has taken you down. Poverty becoming a choice now will be you deciding, I don't want to rise up from this level I am. If I find somebody every day struggling, putting in the work, making all the efforts to rise up to another level, then they are not choosing to be poor even if they are poor. So poverty can become a state and not a choice. You can be poor based on the fact that at your current state right now, you are not able to achieve all the things that you want to do. You are able to have the finance that you're looking for, but you don't want this, so you are working hard to get out of this state. But it becomes a choice when you just adopt that state as your reality. Like you're like, you know what, I'm not going to try it again. I'm just going to try to eat in the morning and sleep at night. Like you don't try to move out of that state, out of that level of life. You just decide to stay there and choose that is where I'm going to be in. So poverty could be a choice for some, those who decide not to upgrade, and it's not a choice for others, even though they can be poor because they are looking forward to living or changing that level which they are at. So that's my take on this.
My name is Adeife Adeoye. I'm a social media strategist, a content creator, influencer, and entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Remote Worker with a H. Remote Worker is a women-focused community. I started working pretty early when I was 16. My dad was a freelancer, and then I just got into it. I decided to take it further than he was even taking it. Now creating content about it, helping other women. One indication that I'm even in a very good space right now is not even about how much I have or anything. It's about the amount of women that I've been able to help make money online.
You know that human wants, according to economics, it's insatiable. So as long as people want something, there's always something you can offer in exchange for money. Sometimes I see young guys on the road. I'm not trying to shade anybody. They're just there 247 doing twirly. Just want to hail you so that you give them money. There are a lot of things. You have 2 legs working, your hands are working. There are a lot of businesses. Sometimes I see people on the road when they're selling bottled water, selling gala, and I'm like, this person is making conscious effort to actually leave this state of being. But the more you're just comfortable with give me mindset, you're always there waiting for one friend to help you, blaming your village people every time, always the village people, always praying for the village people. But you as an individual, you have nothing to offer. You're not even doing something to... If you have value and then you don't have opportunity, that's different. And once you have value, opportunity will definitely look for you. But now you're not doing anything to make yourself of value, and you're saying that me being poor, I can't do anything about it. Trust me, poverty becomes a choice by then.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
Poverty is not a choice. Your mother gave birth to you.
Before we move on, I don't know, I'll have a producer with us today, even if he's not joining us the video once again, which is sad. But he's here to give his intake and his own stance on this. So I'd like to ask him, what do you think, sir? Is poverty a choice?
I think poverty could be a choice, but I think it's usually mostly about mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's mostly about mindset. And when the mindset is not right, that's where poverty kind of becomes a choice. Even though when we even say mindset, it's usually about consistency, about the hustle that each and every person, each and all of us have to hustle and stuff like that. So if they are not hustling, well, and that is where there's going to be a problem. So in that way, poverty is a choice.
Yeah, so it's not like everybody that is poor is poor by choice. Sometimes it's the fact that even though they are struggling and putting in the presently their work hasn't amounted them to move to the next level in finances. But then you have people who have also decided to not work or not put in enough work and have just stayed there at where they are. They have chosen the poverty. In that case, poverty is a choice for them. So I think we'll continue while listening to the disagreeers that poverty is not a choice.
And you have a dream. She have a dream to sponsor you to any level that you want to read and become somebody in future. And you yourself, you are determined that I want to be this, I want to be that in future. And later on, something came up maybe you lost your parents and there is nobody to train you in a school. So poverty will come now. When you don't have relatives, when you don't have anybody to sponsor you, what else? It's not a choice. At times, it may be condition.
First of all, comfort and poverty don't go together. Your poor people are not comfortable. There's no any poor person that is comfortable. Either he doesn't know a way out or he has given in to the poverty. Most people's zeal are dead. When you put in all your best today and it's not forthcoming, you try again tomorrow, it's not forthcoming. Okay, for instance, I studied social work in University of Ilorin. This course has not been generally accepted by the Nigerian community. There are a lot of people that when they see the opportunity to showcase themselves today, trust me, even the rich can compete. What enables you all to be able to figure out, okay, this is statistics, this is this, this is that, is because probably one way or the other, you have gone through one education or the other. It might not even be school. It might just be digital skills that you acquired. But even that laptop, some people have never had it before since they were born. In this society of Nigeria, the poor friends the poor, the rich friends the rich. In that situation, the poor are secluded to limited resources. So you can't say that is a mindset. The distance between the rich and the poor is very far. Just imagine that you want to go to the island and you say you want to trek through Third Milan Bridge. You might want to go to that island for real, but do you really want to trek through Third Milan Bridge? Even being rich, sometimes it's not even mindset. Some people stumble to it.
Stop playing, man. Trust me, it's not by luck. Everyone that you see
I really,
success.
I like that last point that I made about the fact that even some rich people are not rich because of maybe they have worked or they made decision to be rich. They just stumble into it, they put are born into wealth, that put that maybe like they always talk about so many that maybe divorce their husbands and they just happen upon getting a wealth in a divorce settlement. So not everybody that is rich chose to be rich. They just maybe stumbled upon riches in their lives, their lifetime. Then also the fact that no person that is poor is comfortable. That brings us to realizing the fact that if you are poor, because you mentioned the fact that poor people befriend poor people and rich befriend rich people. If you are poor and you want to get into this different level, you might actually want to consider the fact of associating yourself with people that are in the level that you are trying to reach at. They're, like they say, if your 5 friends are fools, then they're probably the seat full there. So if you're hanging around only people who are at the level that you are trying to reach out of, then you probably will not get out of that setting. You need to find a way to engage or get more involved with people who are not in the same level as the level that you want to achieve now. So yeah, so I believe those are the very good points we're starting with.
Food today, they are really, really intentional. I mean, they've put in so much work to make sure that they're where they are, because some people stumble upon wealth. Yeah, not even wealth. You stumble upon money, and then when you can't manage, you go back to being poor. So anyone that you see that is wealthy today, that is successful today, is really, really intentional every single day. There's no point that even stop being intentional. I mean,
It will depend the wealth you stumble upon, young man. There's some money that you stumble upon, you are set you for life. Okay, it's true that when you attain wealth, if you don't get wealth to understand how to manage it, you're going to lose it fast. The same thing at the same time with these boys that are into 419 and all these things. They make money, they don't know how to manage the money they make. So if they don't continue making these streams, like getting all this people that is scam continuously to get the streams of their income, they are going to go broke so very fast. Their money cannot stand because they have no proper education of what money is like, how to manage money. Like when you work for money, it gives you a particular aspect of how to manage the money you get. So people that work for money know how to really maintain their wealth when they get it. The people that stumble into wealth, it will depend mostly on the amount of money that you stumble into. If you stumble into a huge amount of money that can set you for life, you might not need to actually figure out how to manage your money. You just have to figure out how to not get scammed, I guess. But then the money is not so substantial, maybe in millions or few millions, it can run out in days even.
every single day that person is intentional about being successful and growing.
Nothing gets to the poor. The only time that things get to the poor is when they want to make a scene out of it. Even as small as content creators, when they want to make a scene out of it, this guy, I bought clothes for him last week. You start making life miserable for the poor person.
Bro, if God did not
locality, I'm extending my help there. Like, I understand the need of you showing people the example of we should be doing, you should be bringing people happiness. Like, you can genuinely tell when people are doing things for clout, when they're doing things genuinely because they like the message of people coming to help you to do this should be stronger than the message of you doing it for them. So sometimes I just really feel like it's getting out of hand. People do a lot for this, like to gain some sort of recognition to themselves, which is just in general not very shameful, I would say, for content creators.
Bless you. If God did not bless a man, bro, no matter how hard that man work, that man can never get to where he imagined. It is the blessings of God that make it rich, that brings all those ideas, that brings all those ability. Some poverty is not a choice. It's God that gives us the ability.
Oh my God, I was really hoping not to talk much on this episode today. Like, I was trying to like bring you down with as many points. When it comes to the aspect of you being maybe poor, and you say that it's because God has not blessed you. One thing God has blessed, God has impacted in everybody the possibility for you to make it. I don't think, anyways, God is a loving God. He's just. He's not going to want to create people and make, like, say, I'm going to give this person more of an opportunity to advance and you less. True, there's something called favor that works in people's lives, but there's also just the natural order that He has placed. See, those who work will receive. Like, if you work hard enough, you are going to be paid your wages in your work. Like, that's the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not like God has said that, or if I don't tell you that you are going to be rich, you're not going to be rich. He has put out these standards, He has put out the issue of you working and getting your wages, of you putting effort and receiving the returns of your effort. So the aspect of if God does not want me to be, God has said that I'm going to be poor. I really argue with that. God can't punish. That's why they're saying God is punishing you. They don't say God has just decided that it's like this. Your own job in this life is to be poor. Now.
My name is Noah Agada. I'm into music. I'm also into phone engineer. I repair phone. Yeah, our life is by grace. So I think that everything that should come to us should be by grace. Even if we have wisdom, we have idea, we have this force that pushes us. It also comes by grace. It may not make sense, but behind everything is grace.
When opportunity comes and you are not prepared, grace can take you far. Attitude, your preparation, your hard work is what is going to keep you there. I've seen a lot of people that have been opportuned to be in certain rooms through the grace of God, but were they able to offer any value? No, you get kicked out of those rooms because you're not prepared. You see, that's the difference. The rich person is always thinking of the next value to offer to the next rich person so that I can take your money. The world is really, really transactional. And most poor people have this give me mindset. That is why you see the rich not befriending the poor. Because before you talk about two things, next thing they're telling you about their problem, I'm down, they always want to take money. Now, what do I have to gain from you?
God there, who did not know that?
Okay, this aspect the boy mentioned was very important. Building value as an individual is very important. I remember I used to have this friend that mentioned that the two ingredients for making it in life are humility and having value, building value in yourself. So time will come, or if you are looking, because some people are like, if only they give me this opportunity that I'm giving this person, I'm going to make it. The question is, do you have the value that this person has when he was given the opportunity? Because the opportunity might present itself, but if you don't have the value, to match that opportunity, you're going to lose it eventually. It's like being given a stage to be a singer or to present this talent, and you have not worked that talent enough to maintain that audience. You are going to lose the audience, or you are going to go anywhere. So it's not just about having the opportunity or the connections. It's like when the connections come, can you offer the value that they are requesting from you?
That God did. When people fail, they say, I don't try. Now God knows the best. There was a time in life I wanted to go to VI. When I had a security job, I've been looking for a job. I don't have any kobo. I had to go to beggar, start watching everybody's face. When I look at your face, you are smiling. I want to beg. There must be a push.
Yeah.
There must be a drive. I said poverty is a choice. What do you call poverty? Your mindset can even be poor.
True.
Okay, let me give you an example. Bet Niger, they said they would never allow it in Yobe State. I was very comfortable in Lekki as a super agent of Bet Niger. I went and fought. They said they would kill me. They really just fought about it. Security fight it. The government is against it. I said no. I went to the lottery board in Abuja. I said, does it permit us to do business in Yobe State? They said yes. I went underground to behave like an ordinary people, going to where they're playing snooker. I started talking to people. If this business thrive here, you will remain on salary. I started paying salary even when they are booking. Say, wallahi talai. I don't believe say this thing will work. That was a time a security person was working in the bank. I asked him, how much are you earning? He said, I'm earning 45,000. I spoke to other security people. I can afford to give you 1 million and I give you customer. We do 20%. I told a lot of people, but one person grabbed it. At the end of the month, they paid us 1.2 million. That man is earning 45,000 as a salary. That man was among the people who are called a billionaire today. Why? Some people say, I will not take the risk if the money loss, uncle. The mindset.
The mindset thing.
The aspect of taking risk, being a risk taker, you have to take risks, and there's no person that will tell me that they have made it to a particular point in their life or made riches, built themselves from the ground up, and they have not taken risks in the process of rising.
I'm Chief Godwin Ifeanyong, SNDbo in Kosofe. I'm a businessman, a philanthropist. I'm into real estate, hoteling business. I'm also a super agent of Bet Niger, and I also will give a financial assistance. If I'm talking to people now, I was once a security man. People will say, you said what, sir? I said, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. People will say, no, it's not an easy task, but it's things that has to do with determination. If I see a fraudulent money, how I'm going to get 500 million through fraud, I will tell you, no, I don't want it. I believe in thinking and the grace of God. There is no business I venture into that will not succeed.
It's God that gives the determination to fight poverty. You understand? Because once you are born in this world and you are born into a family of poor, it will be as if there's a war between you and something. God is the one that will determine everything. You may think that you are the one that is doing it, you are the one that is taking all this action. No, there's someone that is inside that has already powered you. Is it you that woke yourself up this morning? Do you have the power to wake yourself up?
I think this piggybacks on what is.
Okay, first I want to say, there's truth. I like the fact that I mentioned about grace, the grace of God backing people what they're doing, and the fact that God is going to take you out of the situation. But there's something that I think they forget, is that for Him to take you out, you have to ask. You have to persist your action, and you have to put in the work. So most of the times people are like, it's God or it's God or waiting on God, but they are just sitting down in their houses and they are waiting on God to come and do a miracle when they have not provided Him the work. Say, I'll bless the works of your hands. Where is the work in your hands to bless is a question sometimes, yeah.
Said it's a mindset thing.
This is something, because I think that a lot of us Africans now have decided to put God on top of our forehead, church in front of our forehead, that kind of all this prosperity gospel stuff. Like it's as if they're looking for their breakthrough only from church. If they don't tell them in church that they're going to have breakthrough, it's as if they've given them they have told them that they're going to be depressed the whole time. So I think maybe people get very obsessed about having this whole church matter to come and play a part in success. Of course you want to pray and stuff like that, but hoping that success is going to come only from church and from prayer and things like that, I just think it's wishful thinking.
Definitely. I'll agree with that in the sense that people do put church on their head. Like they put God, like they don't put what God has said. They just go to and be like, aren't a pastor say that, we are going to make 1 million today. you are going to be rich. That's what people are expecting. But the fact is that God has already said a lot of things. I think people, because they don't read the word, when they are saying by God's grace, by this, you have not also read what God has said about you. You are not standing on the word of God concerning things. You're just going and expecting that there should be this pastor, this prophet that will say that you have had, I'm telling you, your future, that you're going to have millions and all of this. That's what we're expecting to happen. Especially when these pastors are, they tell you, if you sow seed today, in 5 years they are going to be rich. Sowing seed is good. It's good, but it's not as if you are going to sow seed now, but for this particular reason. If you are sowing seed out of a good conscience, so out of you giving to God, out of your gratefulness to what God is doing in your life, to the fact that you know that He's great, but not that you are going to be sowing seed now. You go, you say that no, I'm not going to work. I'm not going to be putting 100 or 200 of this in the church, and it's going to be increasing my grace that's going to fall upon me. Like all of that, seriously. Like I think Christians should wake up from that. I'm not saying that God does not give us that grace of work and everything, but He has so put it out to us. He has told that, like I said, He said, bless the works of your hands. Go out and work. Like, I carry God in my head, yes, but I also go out and I try to find things. So I try to make value, find skills, build skills and all of that. So yeah, put God in your head, but also put His word in your head. And His works that would go and work, bring the work out, bless it. Yeah.
Been opportune to speak to two different classes of people. Very poor people and also the very rich people. And the one thing that is a common thing that every person that doesn't have money says is God, is God. Obviously, we know that there is God. We get that. But I think it's also you guys not wanting to take accountability for your life. Now saying God, is God that make you. Now he's talking about somebody that was earning 45,000 naira and now is one of the billionaires and you're like, is God. Did he not tell other people to, don't they have God?
You don't need to know God.
No, don't they have God? So you're trying to say the other collectives, they don't know God. They don't have God. Are you saying you don't have God?
No.
I'm trying to say God is partial.
So God is partial.
Wait. You having God doesn't mean that you'll be rich.
No.
The God of the poor is the God of the rich.
Let me show you're contradicting yourself because you just said
You can have God and be foolish. So it's matter of, are you wise also? The guy was wise to take the risk. That's what made the difference. You can have God and be stupid. You can have God and be foolish. You're having God.
Said right now that is God. And now you're saying you having God doesn't mean you'll be rich. Then I do not get it.
God is God that created everybody. You understand? It's God that created the poor. And it's God that determines whether if this person will be poor and this person will be rich.
Yeah, I just think it's a share of lack of, like you're just,
You're not trying to be
you're trying
accountable.
not to be accountable.
Can you give account of your life?
What are you
Of how
saying?
you wake up this morning? Shouldn't a person where they are alive, now they think about success.
What are you talking about?
No, now.
You said something about, oh, when you try now, you try again and nothing come forward, won't you? No, you try now, you try again, you try
And you
again.
keep on trying till it works.
And you keep on trying,
It's
especially
not
when you know
everybody
that.
that keep on trying.
Then it's a mindset
Then you
thing.
give up.
If I don't want to make it, I won't take out my time to sponsor myself to school through Art Sweat. If I'm giving an activity on social work basis, trust me, I will deliver. But would they give me the work on social work basis? So I left that aside. You just finish school just to abandon the whole thing that you learned in school and start learning another thing. It's because there's not an enabling economy. If there's enabling economy,
I don't think so.
Is Nigeria an enabling
Can
economy?
I ask you a question? See why I say this thing is a choice? Before you study anything in school, you're supposed to do your research. Is there anything available for this kind of thing that you're studying? But you knew what you were doing. You put in for social work. Why?
So after seeking admission for 3 years,
Why?
I see social work finish. I go still say why? Do you know that while waiting for admission in the higher institution, I had to go and do
And again,
I had to go
another
and
thing
do
that you
pre-degree,
also think
spend
is
2 years
another
to
thing is
pre-degree
the
before coming back
the issue is that you think because
Like this issue of choosing what to study in school, ladies and gentlemen, very real, very real, very real. Before you decide what degree you are going to study the job market. Show passion drives and passion can take you back. But I know that if you are going to study a particular thing, you know you have to get hired for it. Like you are looking to be hired. Study the job market. Unless you have this big idea for, I don't know, you are planning on making some sort of like this big company, starting a whole company yourself after finishing school. If you are looking to be hired after you're done with school, do assess the job market. I know sometimes you might feel like there's not enough information. There is. That's a lesson I learned. You should always go out to check the job market, check what is required, check the people that are being hired. Maybe Is it more popular for women or men? All those things, put them to account when you're getting a degree and when you're getting a particular course you're studying in university. So this guy, definitely, I get his point. The fact that I go to school does give the fact that you are trying to move out of poverty, you are trying to do something better in your life, but it does not guarantee it if you don't go about it the right way.
Because you went to school, you're guaranteed a job. You're not.
I'm not looking for a job.
You're
I'm telling
not,
you
you're
that.
not. Education,
I'm not looking for a
education
job,
is
boo.
not a prerequisite to success, right? So you now say, oh, I studied social work, I did all this, all those things. I feel like all these things are excuses. To
I'm
be
not
honest.
making no excuses.
You are.
How?
You are, because you're like the economy, this thing. You going to school.
Him doing social work is just one huge scope. Those are the things that women do. And those type of studies that are actually give you money. So who is doing social work and they're paying him huge amounts of money? So these guys who go and be doing social work, me I don't just know me their own side. You are going to do social work, why? Where did medicine go to? Where did engineering go to?
I think there's somebody can do social work at one point in time. Yeah, I think but if you are saying that you want to have this kind of maybe billions and everything, you should really think that, okay, how do people in social work get to that point? I think that's the question. You should ask yourself, in this, can I get to where I'm aiming for? I don't think everybody aims for the same thing.
Yeah, most people who are doing social work do not make most of their money in social work.
Okay.
They usually have something else which is a high income skill, which they use to make higher income. Social work is usually a lower income skill. That's just what it is. It has always been like that for years and years. Social work is what they are talking volunteers here and or whatnot. It's low income. People are not paying for social work. So if somebody goes and does social work and is coming and complaining that God is the one that is going to make you to succeed, well, I guess he will not get very orientated very well, because I also think maybe in our society orientation is very lacking.
Yeah.
Or when people are getting into the job market. I, for one, who even got into doing medicine, and it's not even because I was orientated or my orientation was proper into medicine. It's just something which
Like
which I think our parents, let me not say that our parents forced us into.
don't come and find me, yo. Don't come and find
But just to say, we don't really encourage, or we don't really think about it in a very dry way, in a very calculative way, as in, are you doing this because you want to survive, or you are doing this just because you want to feel good about it?
I think that's also because the way the education system is placed, like they make us feel like if you do this, like this is what you should be doing. You should either be a doctor, you should either be an engineer. I think that those mentalities are false. People that, okay, everybody when you're in school, this or this or this, and there are those other high income skills that are being neglected, that are not being looked into.
Yeah, especially that the job market is kind of changing these days.
It is.
There are so many things, like I'm even here in the studio, I need an editor. If I had money to pay an editor, that would be one of the things that I already need, because
You're buying.
there's no money. So if you're an editor, you want to join the team, of course our hands are very open. If you have money now,
Welcome. Come on, join the team, the next generation media.
I don't make any money, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So they are very high demand skills now. I think I want to say that. That's why I still learn a lot of things. I still learning graphic design, video editing. I still learning a lot of things. Because just why you need this and people pay for these things.
Yeah, but you know that those are the type of jobs that our parents and people who are sponsors now would hear that for the first time and they'll be like, what do you mean you are doing photography? What do you mean you are editing? What are they going to tell their friends that?
What do you mean you're a writer? That's why you're a writer. What is writer doing? So yeah. But those jobs at the end of the day, when like those are things that are also high skills that when you actually put some work into, you can really make that. Those are freelance jobs that you can really make money from it. I think it's also an aspect of just brainwashing the education system. Like, this way are going to do to be rich. When you finally do these things, you go and reach a job market. And I'm not rich, but you thought that you'd be rich. You're still on the normal salary base or stuff like that. It could be discouraging.
Who for 4 years doesn't guarantee you a job in any economy, by the way, not just Nigeria.
In any economy, really.
5 years.
Do you even know what I've gotten to notice is that
That's not realistic.
most people that even rely on their intelligence end up being really broke.
Like, so you're just going to school like what you have to offer is what guarantees you a job, not even your degree, your certificate.
You think I don't have anything to offer?
I mean, I don't know, I'm not you. Another excuse that a lot of people make is, oh, I don't have money to do this, I don't have money. Guess what? Not all the time you need money to do stuff. Like, for instance, learning a digital skill, all you have to do is go online. It's free. It's if you have a phone, you have data to come online and even watch this video, and you're like, oh, I don't have money. I'm sorry, guess.
Like, the amount of money that I think everybody now spends on data. If we invested our money to be going online and learning instant things or getting ourselves involved in, like, getting information, useful information, they're just doing the scroll.
I just
A lot of millionaires that will come out of the use of today.
I just think her saying that you don't need money to there's something that you don't need money. So I just think maybe needing money is in levels.
Yeah, it's in levels.
Because there are very few businesses that we are going to start without money and the way that she's saying it. The ones which you are going to need very, very minimum investment. There is a lot of work to do in order to start even making any small profit.
True, like affiliate marketing is because it's not easy. Because I entered it, and before you get some profit, you have to work hard in it.
Yeah, because when things like affiliate marketing and stuff, in order to even to kind of make even a dime in affiliate marketing, you need to build.
It takes time. Build an audience.
You need to build an audience.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of grind.
It is.
And that grind, if you look at it, it's not even really free because you need to upload stuff. You need to be on the phone. You need to have that data even to write things. You need to be able to convince people and stuff like that, which are still skills that you probably even have to learn.
Yeah.
So it's not really that free. I think what you should usually know, what should be noted really, if you want to start something and you don't have money, it's very possible. You just need to be very, very dedicated.
Yeah, dedication is the word.
And know that it's a lot, and also very, very tactful and very innovative, because you will have to look for ways to go around not having to use money to do it. And it's not the easiest thing to do. So, not to discourage anybody who is trying.
Like you said, there are ways. It is possible to start with no money and learning skills like maybe if you have, when they say no, not like zero money, like not zero, but like very little, just maybe your data we are trying to get every day. But if you are looking for those very big businesses, capital-wise, that's where you feel stranded. I think the thing I was saying is that if you are looking to make money, you might have to start from where your capital is. If your capital is at no money, look for where you can start at no money. Your capital is here, look for what you can do at that particular level of your capital. Like the more your capital increases, you might be going into more bigger aspects of work.
Guess what, sister? You have a phone. And instead of watching this video, you know you could have been learning a skill, right?
I have a friend, his name is Raymond, right? Raymond was a farm boy and he treks to his farm 1 hour, 30 minutes to get to his farm. He was working in people's farm, breaking firewoods and rearing rabbits just so that he can gather money to pay for Forex mentorship at Fire Pips, right? Now, it took him up to a year to be able to gather that money. Do you know what it means? Trekking 1 hour, 30 minutes every single day. He was also a security guard. Do you understand? This is conscious effort to leave that situation.
Yes.
In Akure. This was not like he was exposed in Lagos. Now, he did that for 1 year, and then the mentorship fee increased. He had to work another 3 months to be able to gather the money. So 1 year, 3 months, he gathered the money and he paid. Anybody in his community knew about Forex? No. Imagine telling your mom or your friend that, oh, I paid 280,000. People that they can barely feed. Now I paid 280,000 to learn something. Mindset thing. He decided to keep it to himself and then he started learning. Now he's very, very very rich,
I mean,
one
why
of
are
the
we
big guys in the
even
industry.
talking for?
So
We
what I'm
have a
saying,
living example here that
Yes,
said
he's here.
that he couldn't even he couldn't afford to go to VI on the island, and then he had to like ask for stuff. That is
I was even a
when your
security
mindset
guard.
is working well.
Like, I always appreciate a determined mindset. Like, when I started from nothing, whenever I see someone that they tell me their story of how they started from nothing, and they did this everyday grind, this everyday routine, that you know that, okay, at the end of this, I'm going to get this money to push this next agenda. Like, I have so much respect for that, because it takes a lot of determination, a lot of drive to do those things. And when you find people like that, they really appreciate where they are right now, because when they look back, they see the work they put into getting there.
Man, money, and he will still become poor. Why?
Give me money. I will never become poor again.
I am never comfortable in any level at which I am. It's a push. Till death, I'm still saying I'm poor. It's a mindset. I give money to a hustling friend than to a lazy brother. Because even if you give money to a lazy brother, he will keep telling you what my brother did to me. But if you give a hustling friend, he will strive and remember what he did to him. So it's a mindset.
Honestly, I was really bittered when I heard poverty is a choice. So you mean to tell me that I actually made the choice to be poor after working my ass out? I know how much sacrifice I've made. I don't know how many things I need to lose for people to think that my mindset is naturally set at achieving my goal. I didn't make the choice to be poor. Not like I don't have a dream, not like I don't want to achieve anything. So why would somebody say I made a choice to be poor? I don't think that makes any sense to me, no.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Money doesn't buy happiness.
I like the way I asked this question. I'm just going to do a quick yes or no before we start listening. Does money buy happiness here?
Money buys happiness, I beg.
Yes, it does. But let's get into it. I'll dissect it. Let's listen first. Oh,
I definitely agree with it. I think happiness is a state of mind more than how much is in your bank.
everybody say money doesn't buy happiness. Okay.
Actually, I think
they're looking like happiness in the aspect of like maybe money does not buy happiness as the thing, but it can buy what can bring happiness. But in that case, it's not buying happiness in that cause.
well, I think money buys you time. Money buys you time. And more often than not, there are a plethora of things that makes people happy. Sometimes people really see these high performers, they are really happy at the game of making money. And we would say money in that case makes them happy, buys them that happiness. There are many people whom what makes them happy is time with their family, time with their friends.
Yeah. So
The
it's
ability
like,
to be free.
what is happiness for you?
Yes, the ability to do whatever you want to do at whatever time that you want to do, to travel and all of that. If you have money, you will be able to do those things, i.e. money buys happiness. But the way that I think that most people think about it when they hear money buys happiness, it's like when I have money, I will become happy.
That's not the case.
Which I think is the wrong way of looking at it. Because if you are making money just for making money's sake, then I don't know what you're doing, because money is just a means to an end.
Yeah, it is. That's what we should remember. It's a means to an end. So it's like if you can get to the end, you want to be happy.
Right.
Like, yeah. So it's not like the money itself. When you put 10,000 in my phone, does not really make me happy. It's what I'm going to use that money to do that's going to bring me happiness.
Exactly.
Bank account. We've heard news of a lot of rich people dying of suicide, depression, stuff like that. So it doesn't matter. You can have all the money in the world and you're not happy. And then you can see people that they don't even have that much money and they're still happy. So it's a state of mind. It doesn't matter how much is in your bank account, how many investments you have. Really doesn't matter. Yeah.
Happiness is a gift. If you don't have it, no matter how rich you are, you will not be happy. I know of a former bank manager committed suicide and killed himself just because he wasn't happy. Only God knew what he was dealing with at that moment.
It's not in that criteria. You can see a billionaire. You're worth 20 billion, but you're owing 25 billion. You're still in debt.
Yeah.
It's a two-way thing. Money plays a very big role. I can drive a car that worth 30 billion I'm indebted of 35 billion. So I don't have money. And when I think about how I'm going to lose all my luxury, I can decide to fall from 35-story building. So the man you think is rich.
When people hear money doesn't buy happiness, what they're actually hearing is luxury doesn't buy happiness. That means what I think people are hearing is if I live a luxurious life, that should mean I am happy.
No.
Which is really out of the point.
Like luxury is, I think, one of the things that money can give you. Like, I think that's what we realize. Like luxury is one of the, it's like one of the things that, like, one of the ends that money can get you to.
Yes, luxury is one of the things that money can get you. That's just one of the things that money can get you. And when people think about money, they think it is luxury. But really, it is not luxury. That's what I was saying. That money buys you time. As in, say for me, who is a videographer and the producer of all of this, I need to come and shoot now. I need to edit after. I need to be the one to curate and do all of these things. If I was making money, that time that I'm using to do all of that, I could use that to delegate and pay somebody to do that while freeing my time to do
other things. Yeah.
Which I would consider that happiness for me. Either is spending more time with my family or not having to have sleepless nights in the studio and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice like that.
That I would going to consider money making me happy.
Yeah, in that case.
And not luxury. It's not about luxury. Because I think when people hear this, they are thinking about luxury.
That's a dual mentality I have now.
They're thinking about big cars and mansions and all of that, which I don't think that is what money buying happiness actually means.
Like, I think even myself personally, when I think of maybe wanting to have a certain amount of money, the end goal is not really about the mansion, it's not really about the cars. Those are just like subsidiaries, like the things like that, those few things that it can leave you enjoy. It can leave you enjoy life. I think that's the end goal. Like money can give you, like you say, give you that time to enjoy the things that like maybe to enjoy the people, like with you, your family, actually not get stressed out about it and people are stressing about. That's the difference that having money can make. So when they say it's not by happiness,
it's even poorer than you. Because you're not taking the risk he's taking. I've lost something that worth billions because of I did not agree for injustice. But I have rest of it. Because if I do it, I will be sleepless.
The fact that you have money does not mean that you're going to be happy. You might not have a lot of money, but yet your children are sound, they are obedient, they are not getting into crime. It makes you a proud father. Now imagine you have so much money, but every day they are calling you that your child has been arrested by the police. Every day you have to bill your child. Every day they are taking your child from one club, is taking cocaine. Will you be happy as a parent? No.
If I have money and I don't have husband, what is the happiness? Or if I have money.
I think people are thinking that money is supposed to solve all your problems. And the question should be, can money solve all your problems? It cannot. I think people feel like if you can solve all your problems, they are going to be happy. The happiness is when all your problems are solved, but that's not the case. Money cannot solve all your problems, but it can bring happiness. And this man was so funny.
Well, she hit the nail on the head.
She hit it like, if I have money, I don't have the husband. What is it? And it's true.
Well, I think that should be a very powerful message to all our boss babes out here.
Like, that's one crime that feeling to us, and I feel like, just be that boss lady, have the money. True. Like, I want to have it. I want to have the comfort of like finances and stability. But at the end of the day, what is more greater than that that passion for me to have that is a passion of having that home. Like, it might not be true for you, okay. But that fact that it's been poisoned now to all the girls' mind and be like, no, always put finance over the aspect of your family. That's mad. That's mad.
The problem.
I don't have children. What's the happiness? I have the whole team. Have houses, have car. They say I should not marry. I should not have children. What's the happiness?
Everybody's problem is very crazy.
You see what I was saying? Most of when they're thinking about money, they're thinking about luxury. Instead of what money can do for you?
Can do for you, yes, then. So,
My name is Favor. I'm a businesswoman. I'm married, I'm a mother of one. I did not consider myself of a poor person. I work harder and I earn money. So what I want to eat, I'll eat. What I want to buy, I'll buy. What I want, I'll get myself. So I don't represent myself as a poor person.
Can the
I think it's relative to what you desire. There are people that don't desire certain things. Like, she does not desire the car, so she's not seeing herself as poor. You see herself as poor if there's something that you want to get and yet it's very far from your reach. So in that case, it would be like, or if you're like, well, I'm very poor, with respect to where I want to be in life. So she might be at the point that you might see her as poor, but she's thinking, oh my God, I can eat, I can get what I want, and what I want is different from what you want. So she's feeling like, I'm not poor, but you see me poor because I'm not at the standard that you're looking at. So it can also be relative to like people's wants, I think, when it comes to poverty and being rich.
Yeah, and I think she really hits it on the head, right? She is an exemplary woman for most of her sisters.
For sure.
Right? It's not about the cars, it's not about the house.
It isn't really, it
It's
isn't.
not about all the luxury. It's
Like,
not
these
about
things
what
pass away fast. You can lose them so fast.
Yes.
Not the day.
It's not about what you see on Instagram or Facebook. It's about your family. It's about your husband.
Yes.
It's about your children.
Wherever you do.
It's about whether you can afford what you need in order to live a good life. So if you can get that, then who is going to stop you from having this? Who is going to tell you, say what? Nobody can tell you anything. So she's there, she has her husband, she has her child, she can buy what she wants. And she's a hardworking woman who goes to her work and does her business and helps the husband in the house to make the house a home.
Yeah.
I'm going to what else does she
Honestly,
want?
I find social life very comforting. Like, it's not like to hate on the luxurious life, but if you are going to have the luxury and not have this mentality of this is enough, then you're not really going to be happy. I think some people are happy, like these homes that are very rich and they don't have this level of peace that people have. Because they are looking constantly for that insatiable lust for luxury. To the point that even what they have at present, the family they have built, everything does not feel enough.
Yeah, and I think it is something which we are. It's been impacted a lot on our youth, on our people now. This aspect of wanting to have a luxurious lifestyle or an Instagram worthy lifestyle. I see so many women who are looking at, so many people, let me say like that, who are looking at all these curated lifestyles on the internet, and they want to see themselves in it. They want to be that one who is taking trips to, I don't know, to Madagascar or to, I don't know,
Touring the world.
touring the world, and all of that. And if that is what you are looking at as what is going to make you happy, without actually looking to yourself to really ask yourself, really, what is it that will make you happy in life for real?
You're going to really be far from happiness.
Yeah, it's really going to lead us to places that we don't want to go to.
And do things you don't want to
And
do.
do things we don't want to. For things which are not even going to
Bring you the happiness.
That is not even going to bring you the happiness. So people need to really sit down and really think about it and really think about what they really want in life. Because I see a lot of people wanting things which, when you ask them why, and you discover that more often than not it's just for the gram, which I'm like, seriously?
Like, I think that's the big question of the day, all these things. Like, what makes you happy? Like, the question is not like, what makes you happy? Then, when that money will come, can that money satisfy it? And times we are looking for happiness not from what makes us happy, what other people say makes them happy. And we want to adopt that. This person has bought a new car and the person is happy. Oh my God, this car makes people happy. I want this car. When that is not the element of your happiness at that point in time, you have totally just taken the possibility of you being happy and just damaged it on the fact that this person is happy because they are bought this Lamborghini and you want that Lamborghini because the person is happy with it. So
Disagreeer, now speak.
When it comes to happiness, it's an emotional state of mind. And I think sometimes, or most of the time, happiness is triggered by the availability of resources. Money buys comfort. You will say money cannot buy happiness. Wait until you don't even have money to save yourself from the barest of the minimum. For instance, I got arrested this morning on my way to this place. I was just coming, then I missed my road. Then I decided to ask somebody, please, where is Oregon Road? The person say, just cross. Some people came here, they didn't experience that kind of trouble. I already shed tears today as an adult because I don't have money. You know why? Because I could have actually just booked a boat and land here. The only thing that cost me my happiness today is lack of money. So I will tell you that wait until you don't have money to access some basic things. You will now know that money can actually make you happy.
You know the funny thing? People kind of have money already and they don't really lack for anything. Are those who so comfortably say money
cannot buy happiness. You cannot tell a poor person that money cannot buy happiness. You cannot move to a poor person's front row and say money cannot buy happiness. It can't for them. They have not eaten all day. You give them food, they'll be so happy. The money will give them the happiness. Sometimes most people will be like, money cannot buy happiness. And people that actually have the money, but they are not just satisfied with the money they have. They want it somehow that is not coming that way. That is not feeling okay.
Also, one thing too, because this thing that happiness is something that it's a feeling. It's a feeling, and feelings change.
Yeah.
Today you can get up today in the morning and you're happy, and in the night you aren't. So and one of the biggest things, and I think people give too much credence or give too much, the happiness thing is too overrated. I think
people want to be, people are not comfortable being sad sometimes. And it's like, it's a feeling, it will come if you are not, it's not like it's a great feeling to have, but it is a feeling everybody has passed through. Sometimes you have to be comfortable having it.
I think something to change happiness is being content. If being content is something that you are after, then I think that is going to be better. But chasing happiness, I think, is not healthy, because it is something which is very fleeting. Because there are memory, there are emotions which can change anyhow and anytime. And you see this really destroy people when you see women are leaving marriages because they are not quote unquote happy in the relationship. But not understanding that happiness is a feeling which is very, very fleeting. But if you are content, then there's nothing that being happy or not being happy should have to change. If you are fulfilling your duties, and if you know your responsibilities and you are taking good care of your responsibilities and your duties are great, then happiness doesn't have to be a thing that is going to get you make decisions which are kind of irreversible, or that are going to be kind of detrimental just because of happiness. Because like I said, happiness is very fleeting. And it's not a constant state of mind.
Yeah, true. So it's content. I think you should prioritize contentment over being happy. Yeah.
My name is Adesoye Christopher. I'm a social worker, and I'm also an entertainer and a content. I'm currently still looking for a job. I just currently moved to Lagos. If I can't afford basic amenities, if my needs are as much as what I can afford, I believe I'm poor. I'm even lower than average class. There's no even average class in Nigeria. You're either rich or you're poor.
I disagree. I disagree with the both of you. I think the reason why a lot of people are so unhappy is because they put their happiness on other things. Now, when your happiness rely on external things, you would never be happy. Like you were saying, husband, children, you would never be happy. because these things are ephemeral. They're going to disappoint you. I remember when I used to put my happiness on if I achieve this goal and I achieve that goal. And then I achieved the goal. And in 10 minutes, it fizzles out. And I'm like, okay, so where is the happiness? That's why I said it's a state of mind. You should be happy regardless of anything.
When there's lack of money, problems are compiled. That's my adage for today. When you have money, when you solve this problem, it's out of it. But if you don't have money, this problem will lead to this problem, leads to this problem, and take you to this problem. And you become sadder until you lose your mind.
If they ask you to come and collect 500 million somewhere by 10 o'clock, you are supposed to go to church. And the person is telling you, by 5 minutes after 10, I will not be in the country after that 10 o'clock. Okay, no matter how old you are, unless you are not telling me the truth.
Even your
You
pastor
can decide that church you won't go it. Let me be at the dorm.
It's not the Holy Spirit. I have to arrest him ass. I said, don't go. Lord Jesus. I would think, like that point that
Of that place.
That's actually think about. But some people always like they'll put money, like when it concerns church, they'll be like they're going to forgo, like maybe they have a job interview, and they will leave that job interview, leave that job to be in church. Yeah, so like you might have some opportunities. Not to say that the church may not to say that going for all their or maybe the religious gatherings and the fellowship is not important, but it's not always a point of you sacrificing opportunities like that for such things.
Yeah, you see, that's what I was saying, that there are a lot of these black people who have put this church to above their heads. They don't think straight anymore because of church. They say, oh, there's service and whatever. And they leave everything that would have been beneficial for their life going forward in order to go and do church things. But I think if they even have an honest pastor, the pastor is going to tell them, Mama, then take care of their life, take care of their family, take care of the things that the church is still going to be there. And I think they say the church is with you now, the church is in you. So you don't necessarily have to be at that physical location in order for you to fellowship. So when one or two of you are gathered in my name, right, and there's all what happens in your heart, and if you have a sincere reason for not being there, then I don't see why you don't have to not be there.
Yeah, and let me just say, I can say I'm ignorant to myself at it because I think we have a program in church this evening, every Wednesdays, like the live church program. I will have like a Bible study, and I always attend. There was like now the timing is not much. Sometimes I'm like, will I run a bit here and come back to rush back here and come back? I was like, at one point, you have to say, okay. Even if I don't attend the story, I can always go and be like, what was taught to me? Then the days that I find myself possible to attend for a while before coming, I can. So yeah, so you have to just put your priorities, your time.
So your Bible group is happening now.
That's the Bible study. I think it's from starts from 5 to around 7. So sometimes I was like, okay, I might attend a bit there and rush and come for a live stream. But I have to reach one point, just knowing the fact that me not being there does not mean that I don't value it.
Sure.
I value it. I could go and be like, okay, what was taught? Learn from somebody, okay, what was taught about that? So sometimes I think we put too much, God's going to punish me for not being here at exact time. Well, this already is me in a way, somehow 7 going in a way,
At that time.
Sir, can I? Okay.
Please let him finish.
Let him finish.
You are too religious.
Yes.
And you bring religion to things that happens on daily basis. When I was nobody, I was poor. I read from Revelation, the Genesis to Revelation, my own idea and what I have seen, probably because of my level now. I say peace of mind. But I brought there for road.
Would not say that.
You say, what is peace of mind?
What are you saying?
Because you have made it, you get peace of mind. You see, this money and peace of mind. If you bring 200 people, you saw a guy with peace of mind die. Make I hold the money. I will use the money, buy peace of mind. So this thing is just like this. Depending on your status. Now, my status, I will say peace of mind. But then, I'm not seeing that peace of mind. To this man now, he will tell you, say, if he holds his Bible, I am okay. Are you hearing me?
My God is not my Bible. My God is in me. So I don't need to go there to get God. God can tell you, leave that church and go and get that money. But before, before he will tell you that, he's the one who has already provided it. Person where God no open door for, that person no fit go through the door of success. You understand? If the God that is in me say that I should take the money, I'll take it.
No, that's a funny
You
statement.
understand? If he says I shouldn't,
And I think it's a very funny statement that he said, that if God doesn't open the door for success for you, you will not be able to pass through that door. And I'm sure it sounds very, very nice in the heads of Christians. And it sounds very nice as a very, very good excuse why they are not successful. Because they are not going to be able to tell you that God has actually opened the door for success and I have not walked through.
Yeah.
They will tell you that when God will open that door, I'm going to walk through.
So the
But then
thing is
again,
that the door could be open.
the door could be open, or how do you know that God has opened that door for you to pass through?
Are you even qualified to walk through at a point in time?
So that I think it's a very good excuse that Christians would use to take and defend their mediocrity. Let me put it like that. Because and when any Christian tells me those very nice sounding things, I would always retort by telling them that God helps those who help themselves.
Oh.
God helps those who help themselves. You are not going to sit there and be waiting that God should open the door for you. You have to be the one to generate that door open.
So there are certain doors you have to knock at that have not opened yet. And there are certain doors have been opened, but your legs have not reached there to pass through. So Christians they negate the fact that they have to participate in their success.
Yeah.
Like God provides the success, but it also requires your participation, even in His provision. So I think that's the part that we put out. Else there will not be point of praying. If everything was just like giving, there's no point to praying. God also wants our participation in our success. In fact, everything He's asking us, that is a relationship aspect, participation. So, yeah.
I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. Because
So you go and take the money, you will not go to church. You go and take.
He will say that he will not take the money, unless God tell him that he should. If God tell him that, unless God says that go and take it, he will not take it. Like when I'm approaching Christ, he says, what will stop me is God say, don't go. But by default, I would always embrace success that comes my way, unless there's a conviction to not approach it.
One of the things that I've always thought about when people talk about God told me to go and God told me to go and when people say it almost as if they hear a voice come from high and tell them
because it's true.
I am God right now, go and take them money.
It's true, that's the thing, it's true. Actually, God speaks like that.
I think the way that God speaks to us, right, is free will.
That's your thing.
If you have that type of a situation, your values are going to determine what you are going to do, regardless of whether there's a voice that comes from up to come and tell you that go and take it or not. Who tells you that that voice that maybe you have heard is God's voice or is Satan's voice? But at the end of the day, it's the values for which you have been raised with and the values that you have that are going to let you make the decision that you are going to make. Because God gave us free will, and whatever we do is what we are going to do. What we decide to do is what we are going to do. You are not going to decide that you are not going to take the money and God will come and tell you that go and take the money and then you go and take the money. It's not going to happen. So if you decided that you are going to take the money, you are going to go and take the money. And then you can say in retrospect that God told you to go and take the money. Nobody is going to argue you. But at the end of the day, it is a decision that you make depending on the values that you have or depending on the values that you grew up with. So that's why I say sometimes when Christians say this, I see it like a very huge scope, like a very huge way to make excuses for their inadequacies or for their wrongdoings or for their poor choices. Because at the end of the day, it's about choices. You decide to choose what you do and then that is what you do. And then you have consequences that come behind. And then if the consequences are not good, they will say the devil. If the consequences are good, Say God told them to do it.
I remember the Bible that says every good thing comes from God. First, on the fact that Christians have free will is a legit thing. You're going to decide what you're going to do. But I also believe that God influences. He can speak in a particular choice. That this choice might be better for you, should not better. This choice might not be better for you. And in that case, it's best to heed to the advice. Because also a part of the Spirit that speaks to us in true conviction and through our conscience and all of that. So at the end of the day, you can listen and say, I'm not going to do. You can listen to the opposite and say, tell another person that God told you when God said the opposite. Some people might have received the word and say, don't, and they do. And they say, no, God told me that I should do. So when it comes to that, it's very complicated. It's mostly, you can hardly really tell when, honestly, when somebody says God told me whether it's actually true or false. With time, how it turns out will always show, because if God that says your things is going to work out and everything.
That's why I said that there's really nothing like God told me that I should, because there's free will.
God there is.
And God is not going to come down. If you ask them, if you ask somebody who said God told me that, and you ask them to describe what actually happened, and they describe what happens, at the end of the day, you will just know that.
Like, it's going to describe how God told them.
Yes.
I would say that because I was like with my relationship with God, I get times that I do receive convictions when I read the Bible. I would say it's God speaking.
How does that happen?
Okay, yeah, this is a question now. So basically, God speaks to me through different methods. Like when I read my Bible, yeah, I I seen the man only clearly explaining. It's like the verse leads to you. And you start getting a deeper understanding of something. It's almost like say it's like they say it gives the Holy Spirit to us, and the Holy Spirit sends convictions. So you move through convictions. You might have a restlessness in your spirit about something. That could be a way. I can read in the Bible and I'll be confused about something, and from there, like the times that I'm really confused about a situation, and just in my Bible study, I find the answer there, what convinced me about it, and I move through that. The times that I could sit down and honestly, like just sit down and have that, like just get the conviction that don't.
Do you have a favorite book apart from the Bible?
Favorite apart from the Bible? Presently, no. Presently, no, honestly. I do read a lot of other books, but like presently, no. Apart from my school books, they say that I read them.
Well, let's even take your school books.
My
Have
school.
you ever opened your school books? There's something that the teacher really taught in class, you were not really understanding. And then you open the book and then you were like, there was one part where your eye just gravitated towards, and you kind of read that thing like 3 times. And all of a sudden, you see how things are just fixing themselves in your head. They're just aligning themselves in your head, right? That is the very, very huge capacity that God has given all of us, and it is understanding. That is why we are different from animals.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same thing that happens when you read the Bible.
No, it's not the same thing. There's a different, like, the scriptures are very different from everything. There's a reason why they say the scriptures are mere money. They say not everybody can. That would read a verse, another person read a verse, and what the person will get, their revelations go different to that point.
Yeah.
But you read the verse and discover that verse, not to read and discover. And that's the Holy Spirit ministry that different in different aspects of that. Yeah.
Because your brain operates in a different way from another person.
Because the conviction around it is different from the Holy Spirit.
The way that you are going to understand it is not the same way that the other person.
I don't read the Bible in my brain. I don't read the Bible in my brain. That's one thing I think for us. I don't read the Bible.
The way that your heart is going to.
I read the Bible with the Holy Spirit. Before I start reading, I always go like, Holy Spirit, help me. Like, climb. It might sound crazy, but like, what do you mean by that? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked for a different book, because I think when Christians talk about the Bible, it's as if it's one other thing.
It is.
It's one other thing, but of which those very things that you are describing, like, it's the same thing that happens to you in your brain, in your head, in your mind. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
The Bible is different. I don't know, for me, it's different for me.
When you are when you understand something deeply, and it is almost in that kind of way that it can never be taken from you. After you have understood it in that way, or after the thing has kind of merged in you in that type of way, it's almost like it becomes part of you.
For me, the Bible is different. I cannot say, it's just a different. It's different from, like say, the word of God is different. It's different from any book that a man can write.
That's a longer discussion.
That's a longer discussion.
But at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. That
No, but
what you describe as God, the way that God speaks to you, maybe through the Bible or anything, it's the same way that somebody is going to be like, he read a book and God spoke to him through. You would even see, if I was a science student, I could come and tell you that I was reading my biology book. And that is how God really used my biology book to speak to me. God speaks to us. God works in mysterious ways.
Mysterious ways. And people could do that. People could do that. That's the data when it comes to God speaking.
Yeah, but
let's leave it to God.
But my whole point is that they use that like some
an excuse
kind of
sometimes.
Excuse.
Yeah, it's true. You cannot deny the fact that people use that. Christians are part of this. Like God said, a lot as an excuse.
Take the money, you'll not go to church.
We are the church.
You are the church.
We are the church.
So you are going to take the money.
Yeah?
You are going to take
I'll
the
go
money.
yes, it's like the church going to take what belongs to his.
The rich are obligated to help the poor.
While I was growing, there are several things I said, God, if you do this to me, I'm going to do this. And that becomes my obligation to fulfill so many things I've said when I was down there. Why I keep growing is because if I have a business idea, I share it to everybody along. So many people are working in my company and we are doing other businesses. As a matter of fact, what I'm paying them as a salary and the side businesses we are doing, triple. You must help the poor to grow because tomorrow they become your subject.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
First say that I disagree with this, like the racial obligated. Is the word obligated for me? That put me on the disagreeer side. The rest is the disagreeer
I agree with it because of the word obligated. I think if you're up there, you obviously should. It's something that you should do, but the obligation is what is rubbing me off the wrong way because it now looks like you have to do it, like it's a mandatory thing.
The word obligation or obligated to help the poor is also reversed to entitlement from the poor to the rich. I will say that I have rich friends, but I can only ask them or call them, or I will only call them if I have something to offer them. That's because I have left out my entitlement mentality. Because when you feel like the rich is obligated to help you, if they don't help you, that's why you see stories of a gate man killing his boss. From a rich man, it's okay to feel obligated to help the poor. That means that you are doing a good social, you are being a social person, a good person. But from the poor, it's very bad. If you have something to offer the rich, whenever you come across the rich, if the rich does not help you, trust me, it's his loss.
Just like everyone has said, that word oblige, I mean, nobody owes you nothing. You can have a rich uncle, a cousin that is doing super well, and you see that person not helping you. Having that thing in mind, saying, don't worry, one day I'll go blue. I will show this person. Life is not Nollywood. You just have to work on yourself constantly and make sure if this person is not going to do it, I'll definitely improve myself so that someone else that can see that potential in me will now help me. My name is Lawrence and everybody knows me as Hybrid. I am a pro Forex trader, a pro swimmer. So I've been trading Forex for quite a while and I became successful the moment I joined the Fire Pips Forex Trading Academy under Jeffrey Benson. The fact that I'm successful today, he played a very, very big role. In fact, a very major role. And yes, shout out to JB.
Some riches upgrade to help the poor. Some that are doing business, they can bring a servant that will be serving them maybe like 6 years or 7 days. At the end, they'll settle them. He or her will start he or her own business. They are obligated to help the poor, some of them.
Whether you are rich or you are poor, just do what your spirit wants you to do. Don't feel like you're obligated to help anybody.
Some people are in the streets, working, looking for job. So you you are a rich man, you have to take one of them to help them. It's compulsory. If I know that you are not rich, if I have, I'll help you.
Why I say it's compulsory, because when things are okay with you,
you have everything, you can do everything you want, you can eat everything you want, and you see your fellow human being, they cannot even have a breakfast to eat, and you're there looking at them. Why you have everything? Why cannot help them?
The only issue I have is the compulsory obliged thing. It's not. For instance, I work remotely. I create content to help other people so that they can get into it and get into tech, whatever, Do I have to do it? No. Am I doing it? Yes, because I just feel like it's nice to also put other people on. In fact, you know the funny thing? If your sister is rich, it's not compulsory that she will help you. If she wants to, she would.
And that's something I think we should just take in mind and have peace with it. When it comes even to family members, I will not feel like it's not compulsory. The person can have that feel the obligation to do it. I don't think it's compulsory. Like if your cousin does not help you, the cousin is a wicked cousin. They don't give you the money that you want, that's a wicked cousin. It's not really like compulsory for them to do all those things for you.
No, I've always had the family. I think real rich people, are actually very generous. There's one financial advisor that I follow sometimes on the internet. It's called Ramsey. Mr. Ramsey of Ramsey Solutions. One of his things is when you are making a certain amount of money, you should tip very well. You should be very generous with what you have, because it's just like the Bible thing they say, when you give, you do what? Freely give, freely receive, or something like that. That the more you give, the more you receive, right? Yes. I think those who kind of have those kind of principles, they're usually very, very generous. And they're really truly rich. And of course, when they have a good time with you, they're going to show you a good time.
Yeah, the principle of giving works wonders when it comes.
But as for me, I've always thought that even like for family members, if you have your budget that if you have your money, I really don't care. I don't look at me. I don't look at that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to make yours, especially as a man. There is no asking for handouts. As a man, there's only so much. There's only so many times that you can ask for handouts, even from family. So you need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And it is not a comparison thing. That people are at different levels in this life. It's not everybody that is going to be Bill Gates or Elon Musk. Right?
Definitely.
It's not everybody that is going to be the héritier in the family. It's not. There are some people who are going to be héritier, others are going to go and buy beer.
It gives me flashbacks. Oh my god. Yeah, but that's true. That's true.
So yeah, at the end of the day, it's about being content, and if your family member helps you, great. You should do the best. You want to do the best of it, and also it's really about principles and knowing how money works, and then using those principles to have a life that you don't want for anything. Because I guess that is what all of us are looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, you now saying, like he said, is when entitlement comes in and like, oh, you did not help me. You're supposed to help me. Then you now start getting angry. You should not be.
From my own draw point, I said normally, nobody owes you anything. That oblige has to do with individual.
A lot of rich people, a high percentage of them are oppressed.
That's true. Some people help just because of what they like. I think he mentioned the fact that when he told when he arrived at particular level, he was going to do this. So it's like giving back to fulfilling the promise that he had made when he was still rising. So it's almost like a personal standpoint. You cannot say what is evil because they are not doing what you expect them to be doing. They maybe don't have that in mind. It might not be pleasing to you, it might be different. They might actually be helping the society or everything, but at the end of the day, it's still, they don't really owe you anything.
Yeah, and also poor people should not think that because your rich uncle is not giving you money, it's because he does not like you. Your rich uncle has too many things that he's thinking
They have
about.
a life too. Rich people people have bills that are more than the bills. I think people forget that when you get money, you also get higher responsibilities.
Yeah. And,
they are paying things.
yeah,
also.
and also the best ways to help people is not by giving them money. I think that's something that a lot of people kind of misunderstand.
I think many people cannot grasp it. And
Yes,
they don't accept it.
the best way to help somebody more often than not is not by giving you money. More often than not, it's by transmitting certain values.
Or ways to make the money.
Yes, or ways to make the money, but values especially, because somebody who has a lot of money and he does not have any values is going to be one of the worst things that happens for the society. A wicked rich man is one of the worst people you can have in society, and good real rich people, the best things that they can really offer to people is mentality and values. But then again, they are also self-aware in a way that there are many times they feel like if I start talking to this man, I'm just wasting my time. So, I'm just wasting your time, because there are so many of these values that you kind of have to be at a certain point to be even able to receive them.
Yeah.
And internalize them.
So you have to learn by yourself.
Use it. So more often than not, before you see a lot of rich people, they stay away even from their family members because of this whole mentality, because you don't get rich without having a certain type of mentality. And when you come back to your people and you just see that they are still in the mentality of the poor man, it's a very difficult situation.
So you have to rise.
Very, very difficult.
It's very difficult.
And also they say being rich is not what you spend, it's what you're able to keep. So rich people are not out there giving out their money
I still come with a jotter whenever we have this act, because I be getting being rich is not what you are able to get, what you're able to keep. Keep it down, girls. Okay.
Resource. 2, a lot of them, they barely believe in people with barest minimum. They be like, what can you amount to? Who are you? When you come across a rich person, the first thing the person sterilizes you, probably looks at your wristwatch, looks at your steez, looks at your composure and says, this guy not too gallant. And every other thing that comes out of your mouth is trash. It's something that I've personally experienced myself. Sometimes I even go extra mile to prove myself and say, sir, don't pay me. Let me show you. This is what I can do. And in the expense of doing that, it even gets more worse. Because you will be seeing the result of what I'm doing like this. And you still want to leverage on the fact that this guy doesn't really need much. So some people believe that they have struggled to be rich. So every other person that comes their way must struggle.
I'm just going to go back.
That's true. I wish it's not a good mindset. If you have struggled to get to a particular point and you find that you can make the rise for someone easier, you should do it.
Right, I used to have this certain guy. He's very rich, like stinkingly rich. And then I was trying to grow my skill in Forex. I saw our academy, Fire Pips, Forex Academy. Then the price on it was $399. Did I have $399? No. So I walked up to him and I told him, this skill, if I get it, we're both going to make money. And you have so much money. So why don't you help me, right? You'd be like, come and meet me somewhere on the island. You take me to different clubs, different places. Like, man, just give me this money. We both know I'm not the clubbing kind of person. I'm very big on church. I just want to go home and sleep. If you're going to do this for me, do it for me. After some certain months, he did not do it. I had to work part of the money. Okay, now I have $200. Just help me with the remaining 200. Did he help me? No. Still the same, meet me here and there, spend so much money here and there. And now that I'm in this position, I think I kind of understand. Those places that I was going there to network, right? I'm seeing him spending money, but he was spending for a different purpose. You, as a friend, you're now seeing it, oh, this guy is wasting money, he's not giving me. But you don't know why he was actually doing that thing. Now I'm here. I understand better why he could not give me the money. Did he have it? Yes. But did he have bills that equated to that amount I was asking him for? Yes. So most times, if you are standing from that point of entitlement, you will carry bad blood. Me and him will still talk till tomorrow.
When you are expecting someone to help you, and the person...
I think in the issue of him and his friend, like possible that a friend was going to those places maybe to network and everything. But if you're coming and telling me that, okay, come here, I will help you with this financial thing. When I arrive, I see you like just lavishly spending. It not really look funny to me. Don't call me like this. Tell me that no. Tell me no, you cannot do it. And I could just tell me you cannot do it.
No, you see, that's why I was saying that I think the way that a rich man looks at how to help you and the way that the poor man is looking at how he needs to get help from the rich man could not be are not the same ways. I would imagine that he's telling you, okay, come to this place where you are going to meet a certain network of people.
Okay.
And that is his way that he knows that he can actually help you in the long term than just that money that you're asking him. But then he comes to that place and you're unable to spot, you come to that place and leave without knowing who you were even in the surrounding with you. You don't know who could have helped you apart from him in that very place where he has brought you. And he has brought you to those type of places numerous times. Why is he going to give you his money? You have just shown him that you cannot.
Okay, so it's like a fishing potential for you to maintain that money that's going to give you.
Of course, I think so. I would think that is what they will probably think, because, like I said, more often than not, the best way to help somebody is not by giving them money. It's by putting them in positions where sometimes it's by putting them in positions where they will not even be able to be in that position if it were not for you. He was putting him in a certain atmosphere, in a certain vicinity, amongst certain people who might be even of more help to him than he himself. But he could not take advantage of that. Because he was not yet, he didn't have that mindset yet. As I'm in a place where this is where big spenders are, and it is not just this my friend who is a big spender, but many of this is other people here that are also people that I can talk to, get to know their how far, maybe become friends with them or create a relationship with them, and maybe there might be even be one of them who is into what I am doing, and we can work something together. Just because he is seeing me in that circle, which it is not a circle to be easy to get in. And if somebody has held my hand to bring me to that circle, that is one of the highest helps that he can give. But if you cannot take advantage of that, if you cannot even see that that is an advantage that you have at that point, why is that person going to give you his money? He wouldn't see a reason to give you money.
In that case, I get like the friend surely was helping. Is it good, like, okay, maybe you could give the person the heads up, like, maybe even if I can't give you this money, right? I'll bring you into this. So like the person's mindset.
That's what I'm saying, that it's about mindset. You need to have it without him having to
tell you.
Yes.
Okay. That's
because that is what a real entrepreneur, that's what you might probably believe, that
looking for opportunities everywhere you
find yourself.
Okay.
A real entrepreneur will be looking for opportunities everywhere he finds himself. When he sees and putting himself in a place, or recognize where he finds himself and make the best out of it. But if you cannot even recognize it, there's even probably no need telling you. Because you might want to be telling him and say you are asking for money from somebody, and what he's telling you is that no, I'm going to bring you to somewhere that you can be able to see people. And then you go to a place and you see he's spending money and he's passing up and down, and he just sits you in your corner and you're like, as this man is telling me, but he's telling me about his own shema. That's usually the first thing that will happen to a poor man that just like what he was thinking, this man is doing by his own shema. But somebody who actually recognizes that will probably have a higher possibility of having that money. And probably
getting the money and the connection. So
this is not help you. It gives you a challenge. It makes you to buckle up.
For a society to function properly, everyone should not be rich.
If every one of us is rich, who will do the menial job? If every one of us is rich, things will not work well in Nigeria. But that's exactly what is happening now, currently. They want to suffocate some people, so you have no option than to agree.
A lot of people might not agree, but it's just a universe thing. Like, the world must be balanced. That's why we have good and bad, we have weak and strong. Same way we have rich and poor. Not everybody can be rich, and not everybody should be poor. At some point, you need some people to lead. Not everybody can be a leader, yes. So that's how the world works.
I think not everybody should be rich for a society to function. According to Karl Marx, in order for a society to function, there should always be that societal imbalance. So I will say that every economy that wants to work should always find the balance between the rich and the poor.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
What is your guys speak? What do you think?
It's not even everybody cannot be rich. Because even if everybody had money, there are still going to be levels to that money.
Yeah.
There are those who
It's been like it's an impossibility in itself for everybody, because everybody cannot have the same level.
because we are human beings, and human beings are not the same. Human beings are not the same. That some are always there's always going to be a hierarchy. Always in every society,
Like,
no matter
what we call imbalance is a balance of it actually.
no matter how egalitarian you want the place to be, there's always going to be a hierarchy. That is just the way that human beings are.
It could be actually a case of it's a success. Like, maybe everybody could not be, everybody could be successful what they're doing.
You could say everybody could have, or the majority of people could have $1 billion in their bank accounts now. You will just make the $1 billion become the new poor.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, if it becomes so common, the value.
And that will just
If
make
everybody had gold in their backyard, gold would not be gold.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the question should be, can a capitalist society function if everybody is rich? I think a society can fully function if everybody is rich and if everybody is comfortable. I think the issue is greed, where some certain people want to hoard this wealth and leave some certain people alone, because if everybody is balanced, nobody will be able to hoard as much as they are hoarding. Please tell me why somebody is a trillionaire and then there is somebody that is there that can't even afford to eat. It doesn't make any sense to me. In no society does that make any sense to me.
Honestly, it really doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but I don't know, it is, I guess it's what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It doesn't make sense. I don't
Everybody
understand
cannot
things
be
about,
rich.
like, I cannot even fathom the fact of me being maybe stupidly rich one day and I'm a citizen. It's just be like, how is this happening? So, but every day, like I said, imbalance, the things that we call imbalance sometimes in society are actually the balance of things.
Please tell me why people are in Congo and you're letting kids stay in mind, doing what, so that people can use iPhones and people can become multi-billionaires. How does that make sense in any sane society? And again, we're talking about menial jobs. The thing is, everybody thinks menial jobs is less of a job. It is not. Just because someone is a driver doesn't mean the person should not be able to earn something. The society is fucked. It's fucked. Like, it's
But also, as I said, like, when we talk about menial jobs, not necessarily the fact that it's less of a job, the fact that maybe the brain capacity or what you have to put in to do that job might be what this other job does. This other job might serve the society more on a greater scale than driving a car, a taxi. Like, the president can be paid the same as a taxi driver.
It's just value now. It's just the value which the market
It
gives
brings,
to.
yeah.
Yes, because it's at the end of the day, everything is it's about solving problems.
Yeah.
The values of different services are different. The value that a driver has, or the perceived value of a driver, to the value of the chef d'entreprise or a CEO, it's not the same. The CEO brings a lot more value to the society than the driver. Probably even the skill of what the CEO is offering is more than the driver.
Yeah.
It just shows, it's just normal that the CEO is going to, because they have more value, be paid a lot more than the driver. At think it's just about
It's an
value.
issue of value.
And-
Value. Please take note. Don't go away from this video and not take something. Build value. Build value. Learn the skills. If you are not happy with the system, be the part of the system you want to be part of.
Yeah, of course.
Build the value to be where you want to be part of the system. So yeah.
It's rubbish. Like, why? It's such brainwashing. They are telling you, oh, for the society to be balanced, why can't everybody, like, so what? I don't understand that kind of brainwashing that you think somebody has to be goddamn poor and someone has to be a trillionaire for the society to go well. It does not.
Nobody's saying that anybody has to be goddamn poor. I don't think it's right also that you have places where poor are practically malnourished. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't also negate the fact that those who are very rich, like the very rich aspect will always exist in society, I believe. But the very poor aspect, like those really miserable aspects of poverty, should not exist. I believe in good conscience they can be easily solved. I believe in good conscience, right? They can find a solution, something like water problems, at least to the point water problems, housing problems can be solved to a certain level. But that aspect of somebody being more than you financially will always exist.
You see, that's why in fact, I think one of the highest things that we have talked about here is mindset. It's really about mindset. No matter how progressive or no matter how hardworking the society is, there are always some of these people in that society who have decided that they are not going to do shit. They are going to stay in their houses or they are going to sleep on the streets. You even come and pick them up and give them food and they still refuse that they are not going to eat. And all those things like that.
Like they are legit people outside there.
So they are going to stay out there. And you know that there are even so many, like say probably in the Western, more in the Western societies. There's this drug addiction. A lot of drug addiction. Most of the people who are out on the streets and homeless are addicted to drugs. And once you start to change your brain chemistry with drugs like that, that is where you are going to remain. All the societal help which is given to them,
They always sit on the drugs.
they always get back to that state. So at the end of the day, it's just the way that human beings are. That is what is going to happen in a world of 8 billion people.
There's no better way to put it. There's no better way to put it.
So, well, if that is a life that you don't want, then you have to kind of get up.
You have to choose the life you want.
You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. If you put your mind to it, they have decided that they don't want to achieve
Like
anything.
that's not a motivational code. Like if you actually set your mind and choose not to take no for an answer sometimes. Yeah, at one point you're going to get a yes.
Makes sense. And sorry, is that Karl Marx? I would say fuck him. Sorry, it makes no sense to me.
No, I understand your perspective. You know, I make some references. In every country, you have those classes. Why you don't see that much difference? Because lack of corruption. In Western world, you can see a security man who is driving a car through loan, and you see a rich man who bought the car outrightly. There is no much difference. But that does not differentiate that this is rich and this is poor.
So my question is, why do we have to have those classes? The society can function without any class. Why does somebody have to control 90% of the world's wealth and somebody have to live with 0.000000001%? Why? Trust me, there is no lifetime.
I think it's a bit delusional what she said, the fact that there will not be classes. There will always be classes. But I'm not denying the fact that those really, those downgraded people that cannot make afford water are bad cases. That maybe should not exist. But there will be classes. Maybe we're looking at maybe eliminating other really low classes, but there will always be classes.
Someone had once said, I don't know who exactly said it, but he said, if they give everyone, if they kind of did a hard reset, and everyone in the world was given the same amount of money, by the end of the year, the rich people, everybody is going to still give their money to the rich people. The money is going to end up.
It is. Because intrinsic is the value, because people need things. When they cannot get the things, they're going to pay money to people who can provide those things.
Yeah.
And the thing is what they're going to receive more. So it's just going to automatically create itself.
time that you need $1 trillion in dollars. There is no lifetime. You cannot finish it. Even if you're spending $1 million every day, you will not go like, what are you
Some
buying?
people still want to have it.
So why? Why are you hiding money inside Sockaway that you would never spend? Is it not insanity? It's insanity. Why are you ordering palliation stuff that you're supposed to give to people? Something that you will not eat.
I know she wants everything to just be fine for everyone. But like I said, it's more like yin and yang. It's how the world works.
Everybody cannot be rich because if everybody is rich, things will not be balanced.
I like the fact that this woman, she might not have the same financial standing as Mepoye, if I'm just trying to give a general statement, but she is conscious. I like her consciousness to life. It's like everybody cannot be. If it's like not be balanced, I like that consciousness that she has. All of this.
Even though she thinks that the society can function with everybody having this.
No, I think the other woman that spoke about like being content to us and everything. I like the fact that she's conscious.
Yeah.
She's conscious with life. Like even though she doesn't have that level of riches as everybody, she knows that everybody cannot attain that.
I feel so sad that we've been so brainwashed and we do not question things. People have told you everybody has to be rich and poor, and you just took it hook, line and sinker. You say yes. Have you ever asked yourself why?
To my fellow,
It's not that people have told us. Like move, cancel everybody's brain like they were saying. Do the experiment. I really believe it's going to end up the same way. Because people will need things that they cannot provide by themselves, and they'll go to a book and provide those things.
last where they struggle, where you say easy for. I stand gidigba to tell you, say, make you keep to the grind, though. Easy.
To my fellow hustlers, believe in yourself, don't give up on yourself, take God first, and He will guide you.
Don't give up. Keep moving and keep approaching the right places.
Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Yeah, we want to go really fast, and it's why you see a lot of people taking the easy way out. You are doing well, King, you are doing well, Queen. It might be slow, but slow and steady wins the race.
The only enemy of humanity is the mindset. It might be that the said poverty is a mindset and I might disagree with it, but I will say that your greatest enemy is your mind against yourself.
Because another thing is your mentorship. Like I said, I drew reference from Honorable Kunle Shonami, the chairman of Bet Niger. I was a billionaire before I joined Bet Niger. Some of the things I see him do and some of his attitude that I followed has made me a multi-billionaire. Who are you following?
What I would say to a rich person is that God have made them to be rich, and when they see who they are better than, if they have opportunity to help the person, they should help.
Try as much as possible not to victimize people of their position, not to victimize people of their condition. Even though you don't even have to give him money, let the person be useful. If you see that this person can be useful to you, keep the person in check, put the person under you. There's no how. You can't do everything by yourself. There's always something that you need somebody to do for you as a rich person.
Keep being rich. Don't allow anything to limit you. Keep enjoying your wealth. Thank you.
We've come to the end of today's episode.
Alright, that's the end of the video. It was very lovely. To my fellow hustlers, please like and subscribe to this channel, to this video. Drop your comments below what you feel about the entire rich and poor debate. What is your stance on all the different prompts that I mentioned? What are your opinions on it? I would really like to come back and read them. I've learned a whole lot from this video today, especially when it comes to working out of a certain financial level, moving to a new one. So it was a very good video, I believe, and I've learned a lot, especially from the producer. I think he has been giving me back to back, so I've really been exchanging ideas here. So Sam, before we go, is there anything you want to tell, you want to say before we're ending the episode of today?
The other thing that I probably want to say is, in this our world today, a lot of things have changed in the world today. And I even think making money is not as complicated as people might make it seem. I've always said that right now I think making money is three things. It's learning a high income skill, learning how to sell that skill, and then selling the skill.
Having value, knowing how to sell the value, providing the value.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's just it. If you learn a high income skill, learn how to sell the skill, because sales is it's one of the most paid things out there, one of the most needed things out there. And then just doing the selling.
Yeah.
And I think it should be good. Now I think probably somebody should be asking themselves what are these high income skills and what is
That's
all
the
of
question.
this.
That's where the answer have to go and find out.
Yes, and how do we?
Yeah.
So if somebody had to retain anything from here and I think it can happen anywhere. It's not in Cameroon. There are a lot of people who are doing just these three things and they are making a lot of money in Cameroon. Maybe not me because I'm a very
A man with the camera.
I'm a very lazy person.
Wow. The consciousness. You gotta be conscious of yourself, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
actually very lazy.
Choose your
Not-
gives your consciousness. He knows his consciousness. He chooses.
No, all this my sense that I had like that, I should have been a millionaire by
He's a
now.
doctor. He's a doctor.
But anyways, I try to preach what I practice. I try to practice what I preach. So for me, for example, I'm a content strategist, and the high income skill that I think we are offering and I actually provide training in that is photography and content strategy in general. Photography, videography, a little bit of graphic design, and all what it entails. And then teaching you how to sell that. There are a lot of courses out here. I will teach you how to sell all those high income skills. I will teach you how to sell all those high income skills. And then getting to sell them. We have been into photography and videography for over a decade now. So
He's doing well. Check out Chapnik Pictures.
I would like to think
They are doing exceptional, guys. See, I'm going. See the quality. Like, you know that they know their thing, okay.
So yeah, that's all. That's what I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. So like I said, I've learned a lot. So go back and check on the skills you can acquire. You acquire the skills, find the people that need the skills and acquire them, you sell the skills to them. And that's how you can start from there. A lot of people have testified about that, finding what people need, you look at people that need them. Or you find a problem, create this, or some people even create a problem, then you find the solution. But no, find the problem, then create a solution to the problem. So that's all for the video, guys. Before you go, again, make sure to like and subscribe to the Next Generation channel if you have not yet, so you guys miss out on any of our subsequent videos. And not forgetting the fact that we are starting a new segment where we are inviting youths who are passionate about any movement they have started, youths who are into entrepreneurship, come and tell us what they have learned. We are going to be having a talk with these youths, and also we are going to be finding out what is about them, what drives them, and also we are going to be having a debate. So this time we're going to find a topic every single time you come on an episode, when you're invited, when you send out your request and you're taking in, we're going to have a particular topic we're going to debate on and find your intake on it. So that's all for the episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the A Report. Bye. That was lovely.